Alright, so in the last video we talked about multiplying polynomials, multiplying binomials specifically. We looked at it the long way first, and then at the end we noticed there was a shorter way. The idea was just to take each thing in the first times each thing in the second. And that's kind of a lot like what you do when you multiply multiple digit numbers. Right, we go through and we take 3 times 5 is 15. We carry the 1 over and then do 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 would be 13. But what we're really doing is it's really 3 times 40, which is 120, plus the 10 we had left over was 130, which combined with the 5 was 135. And then we do the same thing. When we do the 2, it's really 20, but we can account for that and work through the problem just using place value. And then we did 2 times 5 is 10. 0, carry the 1, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, right? And then we would add everything up and get the answer 1,035. So we were basically taking each thing in the 23 and multiplying it with each thing in the 45. And that's exactly what we do with our binomials. It's exactly what we do with our binomials. So let's consider now an example. Here again we're going to go about this the short way. And the short way recognizes that I need to take each thing in the first one times each thing in the second one. So first off I have to take the 7x times both of those. So we do that. 7x times 6x will be 42. 7 times 6. X times x will be x squared. And then we move to the 7x times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. And we tack on the x. And then we move down and do the same thing with the minus 2. Minus 2 times 6, and a minus 2 times a negative 5. Minus 2 times 6 would be minus 12x. And then minus 2 times 5, 2 negatives make that plus 10. And so now we've done our simplifying. We've multiplied through. At this point, though, we do have like terms here. Right? We do have like terms here, the minus 35x and the minus 12x, so we can put those together. And so we do that. We get 42x squared, and then minus 35 and minus 12 come together to be positive 10. Or positive, yeah, sorry. Minus 35 and minus 12 come together to be negative 47, and then plus 10. And then plus 10. Okay, so the key is just taking each thing in the first times each thing in the second. Let's move on and consider a second example. Once again, we have a 2-term polynomial times a 2-term polynomial. So again, we're going to take each thing in the first times each thing in the second. So x squared is going to get multiplied with both of those things, the 3x and the 2, and the minus 4 is going to get multiplied with them. And so we go through and do this. X squared times 3x. There's no number to multiply, so the 3 sticks around. X cubed times x squared. We add the exponents. We get x to the third. And then x squared times 2 would just be 2x squared. We then move on to the minus 4. Minus 4 times 3 will be minus 12x. And then minus 4 times 2 would be minus 8. Unlike the last example, this time there are no like terms to combine, so we don't put them together. Now, some of you may have learned algebra before and were told this FOIL thing, first, outer, inner, last, and that works great if you're thinking about 2-term polynomials. Binomial times a binomial, but it just falls flat otherwise. So I don't really like to think about FOIL. I just like to remember that we're going to take each thing in the first times each thing in the second, and that's how we're going to multiply things out.